welcome back to another episode of Giovanna's Interviews. Our guests today for the fourth episode of Giovanna's Interviews, they are Disney TikTok content creators on TikTok. They are also Disney YouTube content creators on YouTube. They go live from Disneyland in Anaheim, California. They are also Knott's Berry Farm ambassadors. My guest today is Rye and Skyla from Sometimes Castles. Well, Giovanna, Rye, and Skyla, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Giovanna's Interviews. I'm your host, Giovanna. With me today, I got some very special guests joining me. They are Disney content creators on YouTube and TikTok. They are Knott's Berry Farm ambassadors, and they're also the ambassadors for the third annual Chalk Walk in Disneyland, which we will talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on our interview, that is supporting the Children's Hospital of Orange County. Please welcome my guests. Please welcome Sometimes Castles, Ryan Skyla, and also Barley. Hi. Hi. Hello, how are you guys today?
Doing well. We'll probably go to Disneyland afterwards. We weren't going to. We were just going to hang out today, but we're wearing Disney clothes. I can see that. So probably just to go see some of the friendos today.
Cool. Well, Ryan Skyla, of course, I know who you are, but to people who don't know who you guys are, could you please introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourselves?
Hi. We are Sometimes Castles. We have been making content on, like you said, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere on the internet. Together as Sometimes Castles since about 2021.
Wow.
2021-ish.
I mean, we had the YouTube before that, but I wouldn't say we were consistent. We consistently started making content together in November 2021, but Sometimes Castles, the YouTube channels existed longer than that.
2019, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We both work in marketing related fields. And we both, of course, love Disneyland, love theme parks, and love showing people everything cool that's in Southern California.
Nice. Well, I just want to know, I like to start off every interview asking this question. So how did you guys meet each other, and how did you guys get into doing Sometimes Castles?
It's a twofer. So how did we meet? We both work in video games, so we met at a video game convention some years ago. Okay. So both of us are working like similar fields, marketing for that. So we met, and at some point both ended up down in San Diego, which is where we first lived together. And now we're up here in Orange County, close to Disneyland.
Nice.
How did we get started for content? Was that question too?
Yes. How did you guys get started as Sometimes Castles?
Well, I really wanted a creative outlet after we moved up here to Orange County. You're going to have to move out of the way. There you go. Okay. And we both wanted to learn more about these content creation platforms to be better at like our regular day jobs. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly what was a creative outlet for us and a learning journey turned into this, which has been really cool. Yeah.
But I mean, it's community. Like what Sometimes Castles is community. It's like meeting people like you. It's these people that we've had a part of things now for years. Yeah. So, I mean, it's more than just making content. It's more than just creative outlet. Although, I mean, we love both of that. It's creating a community, creating like a home for people, and then making sure that we are able to engage that community around Disneyland and our other fandoms.
Yeah. All right, cool. So then you guys started to decide to go live on TikTok, maybe like 2021. So could you like talk about the very first live you guys did, and were you guys thinking like, oh, we're starting to do this? Like, what are people going to say about Disneyland content, you know?
Okay, so I can kind of go through that. So like as far as Disneyland lives go, we were part of that first group of doing Disneyland live streams from the park.
Wow.
When we first started doing it, it was just like, kind of like testing the platform. Our very first live was just us walking around Tom Sawyer's Island and talking to each other.
Yeah.
The first live I would say that like is kind of like the same kind of live that we're doing now.
Yeah.
Was Merriest Nights November 2021. And the funny story about that one is like Skyla was like, "Hey, I will always make videos from our lives afterwards."
Yeah.
That particular live corrupted. We couldn't get any of the footage, so we had like Muppets singing Christmas carols and like characters dancing and Disneyland never brought back Merriest Nights as an after-hours event.
No.
So this is footage that doesn't exist anymore.
No, I don't even remember that.
No, it's pretty sad. I think that was like my first real like hiccup as a content creator, like learning how to navigate issues and learning how to set your expectations and what to be sad about and what not to be sad about. That was, I think, one of my first learnings.
Okay.
And then the transition to like what we're doing lives for now was Main Street Electrical Parade, Disneyland Forever, when they brought back after the pandemic, the
Yeah.
first time they brought back evening entertainment,
Mhm.
I just started doing that like on Fridays, just
Yeah.
as something, because like I had ended my work week and I wanted a way to start the weekend.
Mhm.
And that's when things really blew up for us.
Yeah.
Is doing those shows, doing the parade, doing the fireworks, and having a schedule.
Yeah.
Because beforehand we kind of just live streamed whenever. And when
Yeah.
you live stream whenever, just whoever shows up.
Mhm.
But as soon as you have a schedule, as soon as you're consistent, and
Yeah.
people know where to find you, that's when we started building something that is like what Sometimes Castles is today.
Yeah.
And then we moved from TikTok to YouTube
Yeah.
this year
Yeah.
because TikTok is still technically banned.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that as government sorts things out.
Yeah, that was the next question. So, that's the next thing I was about to talk about. So, like, what's it like now going from like doing TikTok, like going live on TikTok, like, you know, doing all the TikTok lives, you know, you guys been doing TikTok live since 2021, but then moving over to YouTube, you know, is a different experience. So, how's that been going live on YouTube now?
I'll take this one too, and then
Yeah.
So for YouTube, I think it's just there's all kinds of differences.
Mhm.
So I think TikTok is interesting because you do it all just through the app, just through the phone. The
Yeah.
first learning we have with YouTube is you don't just turn on YouTube and live stream. You
Mhm.
have to have another app. You have to have other settings. You have
Yeah.
to. There's a lot of other work that goes into YouTube.
Mhm.
But the benefit of that also is I think the quality
Mhm.
of the live stream. I think like the quality, like even using the same phone, the same camera,
Yeah.
the quality is a lot better.
Mhm.
So and also YouTube saves the replays.
Yeah.
So it's not just live stream for the people who are there in that moment on Friday, but people who can't be there on Friday that watch them
Right,
later,
you know.
or
Mhm.
because we have a lot of parents in our community,
Mhm.
people who wake up over the weekend and watch our live stream from Friday with their
Yeah.
kids Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah, because now it's more easier now when you guys are live on YouTube. Because now, like, I could just like cast it from like my TV, or I
Yep.
could just like watch it from my phone. I could go like onto other like platforms, or like I could go back and watch the stream. Like I went back to watch the stream from the night that Runaway Railway broke down that you were on with the other content creators, and I know you were mentioning you're like, oh, she's asleep. She broke down the ride in her sleep.
And I think that that's the neat part about YouTube is like you can still be a part of that moment, even though
Yeah.
you weren't there in that moment.
Yeah.
The one thing I miss about TikTok is TikTok discoverability is a lot better.
Oh yeah.
People
Yeah.
can just be scrolling TikTok and find the live,
Oh
where
yeah.
YouTube kind of only exists like people know to go look for it.
Right. You know. Yeah.
So I think like as far as growth on YouTube, I think that's more challenging.
Mhm.
But I feel like we've kind of cheated a little bit because we
Yeah.
already had years of people who've watched us on TikTok and know what Sometimes Castles
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Where I think anyone like you get it right now because you're starting up YouTube.
Yeah.
Starting
You
YouTube
know.
is the hardest part.
Yeah. Even though I do have a main channel and that's Giovanna Unicorn, but I just now just started, you know, doing interviews. You know.
Yeah. It's very different. It's a very different place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have found that new people have found us on YouTube who did not
Right.
know us over on TikTok before. So
You know.
that
Yeah.
feels really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Because you know, like nowadays, like when people are searching you guys up on TikTok, they're like, "Well, who's Sometimes Castles?" And then they're like, then they find you guys on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, so that's Sometimes Castles."
Yeah, and people sometimes on TikTok still ask, you know, where we went because there's not a
Yeah.
good way to tell people that we're
Mhm.
live streaming over there.
Yeah.
So we're just constantly just trying to get people to remember that that's
Mhm.
where we are on Fridays now.
Yeah. I also do want to talk about so when you guys go to the Disney parks and you meet your fans, normally people would have like business cards, of course. Well, you guys give out pins. So when
Yep.
did you guys start the idea of giving out the pins?
When did we start doing that? 22?
2022.
22,
So it was
yeah.
around the same time we started doing the live streams on Fridays.
Yeah.
We wanted something to give out to people. And a lot of other content creators have like the buttons that
Yeah.
they
Right.
do.
Mhm.
And this is not me being mean. I've always kind of thought the buttons were a little cheap.
Mhm.
So we wanted to we've always been a little extra. It's like, so how do we do something like a button
Yeah.
that has our name on it, that like you just have a moment with somebody, like give them something, either
Yeah.
a fan or someone you're meeting for the first time and like they don't want to forget what your name is.
Yeah.
The pin, because of like Disneyland pin trading,
Yes.
that felt like a thematic home run to us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So around the time we started doing those Friday live streams, we researched how to get something that was the same quality as a Disney pin.
Yeah.
We found a factory in China
Yes.
that made Disney quality pins.
Yeah.
We started ordering some from there.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did the blue, blue with a circle, white and red for Christmas.
The Christmas 2022.
We had a Halloween one, orange and black, I think.
Okay.
Pixar Fest, glittery ones. We have a purple one for Knots now.
Yeah.
We're just like all in on the pin thing.
Yeah, well, actually, I do have my Sometimes Castles pins on my backpack.
Yay! See, you have 4 of them? Perfect.
Yeah, I lost my silver one, unfortunately.
We'll have to talk later.
I don't remember how I lost it, though. I just remember last year, my senior year of high school, I remember just getting off the bus from school, and I remember I just lost it. I was like, oh no, I was like, I lost my silver pin.
I think I've lost mine off of my bags in the
Oh,
park.
yeah.
So somebody has found a Sometimes Castles pin on the ground for sure.
The social club people at Disneyland, they have different backs, the locking backs that they use for theirs, because like if you've seen the social club people, like they wear their pins and they don't want to lose expensive pins in the park. Right. So they have different backs on there that lock.
Yeah.
So they don't fall off something like a backpack.
Okay. Now I do want to talk about your merchandise now. So you guys just released your own website, and now you guys are selling merch. Like I am wearing one of the shirts right now. I am the one with the park, and the park is with me.
Magical,
oh, you're wearing your shirt too. I didn't know if you were going to be wearing any of your Sometimes Castles merch.
A little.
So what's it like now doing merchandise and selling all of these merch now to people around the world?
That has been a really fun experiment for me. So I really wanted to make merch. I wasn't sure if people were going to be interested, but even if just a few people, like it, like you, who see something and go, that resonates with me, like that's the type of stuff that I want to make. So we made things with our logo, like our hats and stuff, because people want to support, the Sometimes Castle swag. But then we also make things like we say on stream, like the shirt that you're wearing, like Rye says every Friday when he's getting all these views for these shows, right? But then we also have some stuff made that is maybe not Disney or maybe not necessarily, you don't have to know us to get it. Like magical, not logical, you don't have to know us to understand what that means, right?
Yeah.
So we're still trying to feel it out and see what people like. But spoilers, I'm gonna try to do a Halloween collection. So
ooh, I was right about to ask any new merchandise that are gonna come out very soon.
We actually have a design in the works right now that we're gonna look at as soon as we're done.
Okay.
So you've watched us the World of Color pre-show, yeah?
Yes.
So the one that we're probably gonna make next is a Don't Jump in the Bay.
Oh.
So because like especially like we have people, and you know this because you watch the live stream.
Yes.
The Disneyland Fireworks Pyrotechnics and the World of Color team use our live stream to make sure that their shows are working correctly.
Okay.
So I think like a shirt like that, I think might resonate with people that like actually work on World of Color and are part of this community where like it's wild to me. It's wild to me to think that like our live stream has become a way that Disney can make their shows better.
Right.
It's so weird. So yeah, we'll have it Don't Jump in the Bay. We're gonna look at that when we're done here. We might, we're gonna work on it. And then I'm gonna try to have a couple designs come out into just in time for Halloween.
Okay. One more thing before
we things about merch just real quick before we move on to the next thing. Skylar does all of the creative design for it. So like your shirt and her shirt, she literally does all of the creative design.
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing is like much like we were talking about like community and how sometimes Castles is a home for community. So much of what we design, like we talk to people in the Discord about like what they're looking for. Like it was other people in the community that said we need to do a shirt that says I'm one with the park and the park's with me. Like I say that, but it wasn't my idea for a shirt.
Okay.
It was viewers that said, hey, you should put that on a shirt and I will buy it.
Yeah.
And then we put that on a shirt and then you bought it.
That's pretty cool. All right. Well, now I do want to get on to talking about you guys being ambassadors for Knott's Berry Farm. And just an FYI, I've never been to Knott's Berry Farm. I think the last time I went I was like a baby, I think. I don't remember.
Okay.
So what's it like being Knott's Berry Farm ambassadors and working with everyone at Knott's Berry Farm?
So as a quick clarity, we were ambassadors with them last year. They did not continue that program in 2025. We're still on their media list.
Yeah.
So we were out at Knott's, was it last weekend or the weekend before?
2 weeks ago? Yeah, I think so.
For the opening of Ghost Town Alive and Summer Nights.
Okay.
But the program's no longer called Ambassador. We're not under contract with them anymore. But we're still on their media list. We're still friends with people at Knott's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Knott's is part of Cedar Fair.
All right.
Cedar Fair merged with Six Flags, and they have changed how their marketing team works this calendar year. So Ambassador is one thing that they dropped from their marketing plans as they do whatever they're doing with the new Six Flags, Cedar Fair, 42 per family.
With the new Six Flags stuff.
Yeah, but we applied, and I thought there was no way we were going to get that ambassadorship, right? I was like, there's no way they're going to accept us. We're too small, everything. And then they let us in, and we've made some really good friendships from that ambassador program with other ambassadors who we still talk to. We still see at all the events all the time, and we've really loved being part of that community. And we found definitely a new appreciation for knots. So we love going and then showing things to people that like they might not know about. Ghost Town Alive, I think, is my favorite thing to show people right now. Where you get to go and like pretend to be a cowboy in the Old West with all of these cowboy actors, and it's really, really cool. And I definitely think not enough people know about it. We also are gonna really hit Scary Farm again this year. Real good. So the Scary Farm season pass is gonna drop very soon. So we're gonna go to Scary Farm probably every week this year.
That's awesome. Okay, so now I do want to start talking about the Chalk Walk that is coming up. So you guys are also ambassadors for the Chalk Walk. So talk a little bit about like what the Chalk Walk is and what you can do to support them.
You do it because I'll cry.
Okay.
Cool. So Chalk, this is our 3rd year as an ambassador with them, but Chalk has existed since Disneyland opened and Walt Disney was here.
Wow.
Walt Disney started the charity with Children's Hospital of Orange County and said that I always want Disneyland to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So what Chalk Walk at the Park is Disneyland partnering with Children's Hospital of Orange County, which is part of Children's Miracle Network. Children's Miracle Network is a network of hospitals that provides medical care for children, regardless of their family's ability to pay. And the way that they do that is through fundraisers. Chalk Walk at the Park, every dollar that someone donates to Chalk literally goes to Children's Hospital of Orange County.
Nice.
Disneyland takes no dollars from that. When we raise money, we get no dollars from that. That literally 100% of that money goes to that hospital.
Yeah.
So fundraising, I think, is like so powerful because like people who are doing it like Disneyland are doing it because they care about the charity.
Yeah.
When Chalk Walk at the Park happens on Sunday, August 3rd.
Yeah. Sunday, August 3rd. Yeah, I checked earlier today.
Okay. So when they open the gates, like Disneyland's doing that all out of their own pockets as a reward for people that were doing fundraising. It's kind of like a victory lap for all the people who are part of charities.
Yeah.
And like, there's just so many pieces to this. Like you have an ambassador for Chalk who is someone who has like gone through the hospital network.
Yeah.
I think it's Belle who's a cancer survivor at like age 13 or something. Like how wild is it to like be diagnosed with cancer like that young? And it's scary.
Yeah.
And to have a hospital there that's able to, regardless of like if families can afford it or not,
like
can be a part of that. I just think it's like something that matters a lot to us. Like we've been raising money for Children's Miracle Network together as long as we've been together.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 2013 was my first time. Yeah.
But we started doing it for Children's Hospital of Orange County and Disneyland after the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then a Disney PR agency saw what we were doing and reached out to us and asked if we wanted to be involved officially.
Okay.
So like, yes, like we were, well, I guess last year was the first year that we were official.
Yeah.
That we were.
All right.
Okay, so this is our 2nd year official, 3rd year doing it, but
Nice.
2nd year as ambassadors as part of like that program.
Okay.
And like the wild, like again, like yes, we care about raising money, and she's not going to cry, but like the magic moment for me.
Don't cry, Skylar. Don't cry.
Last year when they did the Chalk Walk, we were the first people to be able to walk into the gates of Disneyland at 4 in the morning. Yeah. So walking down Main Street with nobody.
That's so cool.
Standing by the castle and watching the sun come up by the castle with nobody in the park.
Mind blowing.
Well, I guess there was like the 14 other ambassadors. But
I just want to say a couple of small things about Children's Hospital of Orange County that they've told us about that I really love. And boy, this is going to happen again, isn't it? So they do the Chalk Walk around the park, but some kids can't participate in that, right? They're too sick. So they have what's called the mini walk where they go to the hospital and they just like walk around the block with Minnie Mouse there.
Oh, that's so cool.
For those kids, and it is so sweet and beautiful. And then the hospital itself also has a lot of Disney touches inside. Yeah. So for example, Turtle Talk with Crush, right?
Yes.
They could do that for the kids inside the hospital.
That's so cool.
It is really cool. Sorry.
So I think once every week.
It's okay, Scott. It's okay.
Turtle Talk where like they delayed Turtle Talk at Disneyland, and the performer performs on a screen of Turtle Talk, which is in the Children's Hospital of Orange County. So these kids who have health conditions where they were delayed, the hospital would be like a problem for them.
Right.
can be there in a room
Yeah.
and still experience turtle talk with Crush
It's so sweet.
without physically needing to go to DCA and maybe catching a cold or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do all kinds of stuff like that we think is really valuable to make kids feel better even when they're in the hospital. And that's so important. So yeah, we're raising money for Chalk. It means a ton to us. And we can't wait to keep doing it in the future.
And,
Yeah,
and this
so I'm very
is the type
excited
of the
for
money
Chalk
goes
Walk.
for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited. I don't live in Anaheim. I'm like farther than Anaheim. So yeah, but that's amazing, guys. I know you guys will be streaming for Chalk Walk on Sunday, August 3rd. I don't know what time though. I think Chalk is at 6 in the morning?
6 a.m.
I think it's 6 or 6:30.
Yeah.
It's going to be early. But again, the neat thing
Wow.
about YouTube is we've got the recording. So like when we did this on TikTok, people are like, hey, that's too early. Like
Too
I
early.
raised money, but I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to watch it.
Yeah.
Now we have those
Now you can-
recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Chalk Walk 3 years ago, we had that kind of
The
hurricane
rain. Yeah, the
that,
rain.
like the walk still happened, but there's a lot they couldn't do for Chalk Walk.
Mhm.
Last year, it didn't rain, and they opened up a lot of these areas that most people never get to see at the park.
Yeah.
And on those other areas, they had things like the Magic Happens parade floats.
Yeah, I
you
saw
could, like,
that. I saw
Yeah,
some
so
pictures.
cool.
Yeah, that
So
was very cool.
They treat it like an after-hours event that like they do special stuff. But
Yeah.
it's before the park opens, and it's for people specifically that raised money for charity, not people who bought, like, they're not trying to make money off this event. They're trying to do something special and draw attention to this charity. And like at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do too. Like
Yeah.
even if you're not financially able to donate, you know what the charity is now. And in the future, like if there is a moment in time, even if it's years from now, where you're like, hey, I want to like support a charity,
Right.
having this idea in your head,
Mhm.
like it only helps us. It only helps Chalk. It only helps Children's Miracle Network.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for talking about Chalk Walk. Don't forget, guys, if you guys want to go watch Sometimes Castle's Chalk Walk, that will be on Sunday, August 3rd at 6 in the morning or 6:30, whatever you
Yeah,
guys decide.
We'll make sure that we have something like we usually schedule the lives on YouTube so people know the time.
Right.
We'll have more information as it gets closer.
Yeah.
Because like again, like they're gonna unless something changes, we'll be invited to go in before anybody else that day.
Yes.
And we'll figure out what we want to do for the live stream. Like technically we could live stream then, but I think we want to wait till the closer to the start of the park.
Probably. All right. Awesome, you guys. Well, Ryan, Skylar, I do have some questions for you guys. I typed all of these up on my own, so I hope you guys enjoy these questions. All right. So my first question is favorite Disneyland ride.
Oh, Haunted Mansion.
Nice. What about you, Ryan?
I like Rise of Resistance at Disneyland. At Disney World, we both really love Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a fun ride. I've seen clips of it online, and it looks really
So fun.
Again, not to change topics, but the rumors, the speculation is the same ride mechanism for Cosmic Rewind is what they're putting in for Fast and the Furious at Universal Studios Hollywood.
I heard about that. Actually, I was on Miss Red's stream today. And by the way, Miss Red says hi to you guys.
Hi.
I'll tell you guys said hi. But yeah, and I saw the construction for it, and it looks so cool.
So cool.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious is one of her fandoms, so she's excited whenever it opens at Universal.
I've seen some of the movies actually of Fast and Furious. They're really good.
They're really good.
All right. Favorite California Adventure ride?
Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Yeah. Nice. Favorite Mickey's Toontown ride?
Mickey's Toontown. I mean, like you only got like 3 back there. I guess it would have to be Runaway Railway.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Roger Rabbit makes me a little motion sick. So yeah.
Okay.
And
I kind of knew.
Really fit on Gadget Go Coaster. Like I've been on it a couple times, but I hardly fit on there.
Wow. Okay, so what's the best part about being a Disney content creator?
I mean,
The community.
Yeah, like what building something for the community, because like for us, like we're not trying to get rich, we're not trying to like make a pile of money. It's building something that gives value to people, and like it's been really like again like giving a home for people, giving them a thing like these Friday live streams. People have told us that like it's the thing they look forward to in their week.
Yeah,
and like I never went into this with a well thought out plan, but how can I stop doing the Friday live stream when someone tells me that like they have so many struggles in their life, and this is the one thing that they look forward to every week.
Yeah, because it's awesome how you guys do the Friday streams. It's ending off a crazy week. Like Mondays, people go to work from like Mondays through Friday, and they're exhausted, they're tired from work, and I know you guys work, and I bet you guys are very tired from a long week of work. So now they're like, okay, well, let's watch Sometimes Castles at night. I've stayed up till midnight to watch you guys, and sometimes I stay up till like 1 in the morning. So yeah.
Same.
Yeah, my family is always like, sometimes my family would always be like, why did you stay up till midnight? And they're like, oh, and I'm always like, oh yeah, because of sometimes castles.
You watch the stream.
Yeah, you know? But I think it's really cool that you do the Friday streams every Friday night. So yeah.
Just got to kick off the weekend right, I think.
Right. You know? Okay, funniest memory live on TikTok and YouTube.
I mean, the one that we talk about, I think, a lot is so there was that fire for Fantasmic, and fire had not been at Disneyland for a long period of time. So, so I love World of Color. And on TikTok, people would ask questions like, whatever happened to fire during World of Color? It's like, well, like they stopped running it. Like, you know, it's something that we haven't been able to do for a while.
Yeah.
She was like, it was a day in September. She's like, you sounded so sad talking, like explain to some
sad. He was so sad.
Like this was my favorite parts of World of Color. Hey, there's fire, but they haven't been able to do it. And then the fire popped up. It was like just a random, I think a Wednesday.
Yeah.
A Wednesday.
I remember that.
So there's only like 60 people in chat. Like it was such a small group, but like just explaining like, hey, and then like so like just being surprised.
Yeah.
So like that it's a moment that like pretty much everybody in that live stream like talks about still.
Yeah.
Like you were like looking down at your band and then it just went poof. And I I wasn't on stream. I was watching WWE that night. And then until I come on stream and everyone was like, there was fire. And I'm like, are you serious? I missed it.
It was so funny. His reaction was very funny and uncharacteristic for our live. So it was just a really funny moment. And yeah, we love that people still talk about it.
Oh man, that was so funny. Favorite Disneyland parade through the years?
Oh, it's Magic Happens for me. Absolutely.
I would say Celebrate Street Parade for me.
I haven't seen it.
Watch it on YouTube.
I probably should watch it on YouTube. Yeah, you're right.
What's your favorite Disney parade through the years?
I mean, honestly, like I appreciate what they've done with Christmas Fantasy Parade. So Christmas Fantasy Parade is one of the original Disney parades. So they've spent decades, like what Walt Disney would call plussing it up.
Yeah.
So every parade, like over time, they do something with, like for example, Paint the Night. The change was adding the Jonas Brothers song at the end.
Yeah.
So like things like that. They were going to do some stuff with the characters that are around Rapunzel and Cinderella.
Yeah.
Those costumes aren't ready. So when you go to those sections, that's why those princesses are just kind of like alone in their cages.
Oh,
They're supposed to be more over there. So like they keep plussing up parades, but like Christmas Fantasy Parade has decades worth of plussing up. So I think it's one of the ones where like the costumes are like so detailed, like the reindeer and the snowmen and like all the stuff they've done with that. And the choreography and how those characters can interact with the crowd and also be a part of the parade.
Yeah.
Like that's something I've noticed compared to Paint the Night to like Christmas Fantasy.
Yeah.
Christmas Fantasy, there's so many character interactions in that parade.
Oh yeah. You know, and then Clarabelle dancing, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. With all the bakers, it's so good.
That's awesome.
Like where Paint the Night, you don't have as many character interactions. Like the costumes look great, but they don't really build in time so the characters can interact with the crowd like something like Christmas Fantasy or even Magic Happens.
Yeah, like I know they just brought back one of the floats from Paint the Night. They just brought back the Anna and Elsa float.
Yep.
Yes. When Pixar Fest happened a couple of years ago, it was the Incredibles.
Yeah, a Disney California Adventure. So that float is too tall to go under where the trolley lines were. So they didn't bring it because it was too tall of a float for DCA, not because there was a problem with it.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since people have seen that float. Yeah. And it is very tall. It's
so it's like in the buildings on Main Street.
Yeah.
So tall.
Awesome. If it was somebody's first visit to a Disney park, what would be some good tips you would give them?
I'll do the tips or you want me to?
Okay, so our usual tips are the first 2 hours of the day and the last 2 hours of the day, particularly at Disneyland and California Adventure, are the least busy times. So if you need to pick one, like either rope drop or close the park down so you can get some more rides in. Use mobile order as often as you can for food.
Which is in the
Disneyland app. So make sure you have downloaded the app and you use mobile order because that's really going to save you a lot of time. And my third tip is usually leave room for magic to happen. You don't have to plan every second of your day. Pick a few things that you really want to do and then just let the park happen to you because there's so many special interactions that you can have with characters and cast members that you don't really have if you just plan out every single moment of your day.
Right. Okay, cool. Least favorite ride at Disneyland?
Least favorite, Summer Rain.
Yeah, it's I'll since you have submarines, I'll say Autopia.
Oh, what
Hot
about you?
take.
Ryan?
What's that?
What's your favorite? What's your least favorite ride at Disneyland?
Submarines.
Submarine.
Submarines. The submarines.
Oh, Submarine Voyage. I couldn't.
Finding
Well, I was like,
Nemo, submarine voyage. Sorry.
oh yeah, that
Finding
ride.
Nemo submarine voyage.
Oh yeah, that ride is so small.
Yes. Yes, it's small. Air doesn't circulate really well. Like you each side only kind of gets part of that experience.
Yeah.
If like anything gets stuck, you're stuck in there for a long time. Yeah.
No.
Least favorite ride at California Adventure.
Maybe it might be Goofy's for me.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't fit in Goofy, so I don't have a lot of experience with that one. I wouldn't necessarily call it my least favorite, but it's the one I've been on the fewest times because I don't fit.
Yeah. Okay. Least favorite ride at Mickey's Toontown.
I mean, I love them all. Your least favorite's Roger Rabbit?
It makes me motion sick. I don't like the spinning. Like it's really hard for me to do. So it's my least favorite. And that's very cool. The design is cool, but I can't.
I'm gonna say Gadget Go Coaster for the same reason I said Goofy. Like I don't really fit in Gadget Go Coaster.
Oh, okay.
Also, Gadget Go Coaster is only like 44 seconds long.
That's quick. I know, it's so quick. All right. Any memories going to Disneyland when you were little?
Not me.
So Skyla's first time to Disneyland was with me.
Okay.
So Skyla grew up kind of poor in Alabama. Never thought she would be able to like take a trip to any Disneyland park because it is expensive to visit.
Okay.
And
do you want to answer this question? Would you like to answer this question?
But yeah, I grew up going to Disneyland like all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
My family, we had annual passes every other year.
Okay.
Because my parents never wanted us to like not appreciate having that opportunity to go.
Okay.
So like every other year we would get passes and we would go often.
Okay.
So there was that thing like my dad was very interested in like technology. So like he had like one of those early camcorders.
Big one.
Okay.
Yeah. So like going in like the late 80s and like him recording like my brothers, my mom, like the Christmas Fantasy Parade.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, just memories of like going with my brothers, going as a kid. And like I have a lot of memories. Like being there on the day of the 40th anniversary when they buried the time capsule in front of the castle. Yeah.
I saw some clips of that on YouTube and I was like, oh wow, that's so cool.
Cool.
All right. Favorite movie growing up?
Favorite movie growing up?
Oh boy, I didn't watch a ton of movies growing up, but I do know that when I was little, I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid.
Ooh.
I had Little Mermaid birthday cakes. I've got all kinds of pictures of me being obsessed with Little Mermaids.
What was your favorite movie growing up, Rye?
Same, like I mostly watched like television shows. So there's a lot of television shows I watched as a kid. As far as movies go, I'm trying to think of like what I watched a lot as a kid. It might have been the live action Ninja Turtles movie.
Ooh,
might have been the one that I might have.
Ooh. So I actually interviewed a few weeks ago, Matt Hill, and he was actually in the costume of Raphael in the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Was that the time travel one?
I think that was the third. I don't know which one the third one was. I'd have to research.
Okay.
Or have to ask.
I think I want to call it Turtles in Time, but I think that was the video game. I can't remember the one, but like the third one was like they time travel at some point.
Okay. All right. What do you favorite thing you like to do at Disneyland?
Sit. I really love grabbing a snack and just having a seat somewhere on one of the Main Street, Buena Vista Street, Hollywood Leon, like something like that, where there's a lot of people and just like people watching and enjoying my snack.
Nice. What about you, Ryan?
I mean, basically the same. Like, I mean, like we spent a lot of time in DCA, like with snacks and like spending time with people.
Yeah.
Like when we go to the park, like today, like our plan isn't to live stream tonight or like make a bunch of videos. Our plan is to spend time with people. So like, I think getting back to like Disney and community, like sitting, having a snack, and sharing time with people.
Okay, nice. What did you do before TikTok and YouTube?
You mean like for content, or you mean like just in
No,
life?
like what you guys did way before you guys started Sometimes Castles.
I'll say we played a lot more video games.
Good one.
Yeah. We did a lot of video games together, and I would say that was like our main hobby together. And then TikTok and YouTube have sort of replaced our video game time.
I mean, even like, for example, like not that we were like big Twitch streamers, but we did both separately and together do some Twitch streams more as a hobby than like anything that was a plan.
Oh, you guys did nice.
So I think a lot of the like what we learned from Twitch streaming made it easier for us when we started TikTok live streaming because we'd already done live streams before.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the other TikTok live streamers, like their first time live streaming was TikTok.
Okay.
And if you go to it with no experience and no plan, I think it's harder for some people.
Yeah.
Or for us, I feel like it was kind of natural.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Nice. All right. Favorite Disney TikTok content creator.
Favorite Disney TikTok content creator. I'm in my third favorite, The Jungle Skipper. Versace's my third favorite. Sorry, Versace vibes. No, we have a lot of favorite content creators for a lot of different reasons.
Okay.
So like for I think like Park News, I think like Juliet and Beyond, who used to be called Perfecting the Magic, and David Vaughn.
Yeah.
As far as like comedy and bits, I think like Magical Millennial stuff over the years has been very good. Bibbidi Boppity Beard. As far as like just aesthetic content, like someone that like I looked at a lot when we started was Debbie Wilson.
Oh yeah.
For just like putting together a video and aesthetics. But I'm talking a lot. Who do you like on TikTok?
For things like history and fun facts, I do watch a lot of Dapper Danielle.
Okay.
And then and I don't know. That's another good one.
I mean, Disney Sesmerone. Disney like
awesome.
news and facts.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool.
We got a whole roster.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite childhood TV show.
Childhood TV show. I mean, like I had a whole bunch of them. Like watched a lot of Transformers, a lot of G.I. Joe.
Hey.
When Disney Channel, I watched a lot of Gargoyles, a lot of Darkwing Duck.
I watched a lot of Nickelodeon growing up. So things like Salute Your Shorts or Global Guts or like things like that were a lot of things.
Yeah. Just FYI, I've never seen G.I. Joe.
Oh.
Never seen G.I. Joe. And these next two questions are for Rye. Favorite Autobot in Transformers.
Favorite Autobot.
Yes.
The favorite Autobot is Grimlock. King of the
I
Dinobots.
love Grimlock. And favorite Decepticon in Transformers.
Favorite Decepticon. I mean, like what? I think it's Starscream. Is that his name? Starscream. Like, I mean, he's always been like one of the more interesting Decepticons. Like, I wouldn't say he's great, but like he's interesting. He's more different. Like, he has a fair amount of like characteristic because he's always trying to betray somebody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Starscream is funny. What do you like to do during your spare time?
Sleep. No, I mean, our regular jobs have both gotten busier. Sometimes Castles has gotten busier. We've had opportunities because of sometimes Castles stuff that we're not doing on camera lately.
Yeah.
So like as we work on Secret Project and other things, like lately, if I have time, like sleep or actually try to find a moment where the two of us can spend time together.
Go to Dave and Buster's.
We go to Dave and Buster's so much that they mailed us a gift box of things that
I saw that video like a few minutes ago before we did this. Cool. Have you ever been stuck on a Disney ride before?
A few times.
I have almost never gotten fun stuck. You know, where you're stuck and you're there for like an hour and they walk you off. That literally never happens to me, but it's happened to him. Oh, and I'm so jealous.
All right. Well, Ryan Scala, that was the last question. I do have some drawings and some coloring and some pin ideas. We do have less than a minute, so I better go quick.
Okay.
And then if we do have to pop on and just finish up doing this, we'll just pop on back onto the Zoom.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So I did this. I did this. Yeah.
Is this get stuck on a ride?
That is.
Yes, that is the runaway breakdown. And then I made some pin ideas for you guys. So I have this of Optimus Prime.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And then I have one of Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow.
I love it. I love Sonic.
Yeah. And then I made one of Abatha and Glenda from Wicked.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Thank you. And then I did one of the Autobots and the Decepticons.
Perfect.
It looks kind of like Optimus Prime colors.
Yeah. And then I did one of the Constructicons. Oh, yeah. Here you go. There's the Constructicons. There you go.
It almost looks like Halloween, which I'm into.
Yeah. Well, you guys, that concludes. Well, everyone, that concludes today's interview with Ryan Skyla from Sometimes Castles. Ryan Skyla, where can they follow you on social media on?
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. I think that's it.
Yeah, and on the top of all of our channels, we have like the link tree pretty much everywhere else.
Okay.
On YouTube, we have a list of links up there too. So if you ever find Sometimes Castles on any channel, we have a link to all the other places you can follow us there. We try to share content a bunch of places because I know lots of people just have a platform that they prefer best. Yeah. And hopefully we're able to share Disney information with you there.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys, this concludes today's interview. Ryan, Skylar, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Giovanna, thanks for making the time for us.
Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's interview. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when I post, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video from Giovanna's interviews. Please make sure you like the video, comment on the video, and make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notifications. Bye, everybody.
There's always a calling, a compass to